so I believe he got into 4. I don't know the circumstances. I wasn't following it at any stretch. They were a disaster. That program needs to reload. And so now he comes here. He beats out Rashada, and Rashada, who made news for getting the big money promised in Florida, and then goes to ASU, and then and then Rashada he saw the writing on the wall, and he's at Georgia now, so he took off, and this program is now solidly Levitt's.
And, Levitt is throwing a pretty nice completion percentage right now at 62%. His touchdown to interception ratio is good, 17-4. Really good. He's still a rushing threat. If he's anything like his brother was, he's a hothead. He's a competitor. He's got crazy blood running through his veins. You guys remember how crazy his brother was?
Yeah.
His brother didn't care, which I loved him for it. Some hated him for it. I love him. I love crazy wild cards like that. So I'm sure he brings a bit of that, kind of that competitive nature. He's throwing for 2,000 yards on the season. But he's got his reliability behind him again in Scadaboo, who was out for a minute, but he's back, and it looks like he made it through last week healthy against Kansas State, and he's going to be a problem. I don't know, PK, this to me is the season. I feel like this is the season, and I want you in full Arizona State gear right next to me in the booth and with a headset, and Greg Wrubell can have 2 color guys. You take the good moments for Arizona State. I'll take the good moments for BYU. We'll have some back and forth banter because, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool and pretty unique that these 2 programs have built themselves into this moment. And Arizona State's been through so much. I cannot believe how embattled this program is after what Herm Edwards took them through, all the sanctions. They're still serving sanctions, are they not?
I think they just got finished with it in August. And so it was literally the worst time in the history of the program. It's a fact.
Yeah, the worst time in the history of the program, and here they are with one of the youngest coaches in the entire NCAA.
He's the youngest head coach. He's 34 years old, and he looks 18.
That's incredible, and I got a lot of respect for him. I've actually loved the way he's represented himself and represented his team, and so this is built into, in my opinion, the biggest game of the year. And for those of you, and I'm sure you guys have said it plenty of times, if Utah wins, if BYU wins, and if Colorado wins, the Big 12 championship game is BYU versus Colorado. And at this point, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a Utah win against Iowa State, a BYU against Arizona State, and a Colorado win against Kansas. And that seals it. That puts BYU in Dallas, in Arlington, and in the Big 12 championship game. Yeah, it'd be amazing.
All right, Hans, we'll leave the mummified skin right there, and we'll move on. We appreciate a few minutes, and we will hear you with Scotty G coming up at noon today.
Anytime, gent. Love to be on with you.
All right. Hans Olsen, join us right here on The Zone. When we come back, what is trending? The headlines are next.
Take the Zone with you wherever you go. Download the KSL Sports app to get live streaming of your favorite shows.
Downloading.
Download the latest podcasts and get all the latest breaking news on the teams you can't live without. Everything you need delivered right to your phone.
Let's go get them where we can get them.
Just search KSL Sports on your app store of choice. Download it now. The KSL Sports app, presented by University of Utah Health.
This is Ethan Millard with Teton Wealth Group. In retirement, you need a plan for these unavoidable problem areas: income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and a legacy plan. These are unavoidable. You will have to deal with this whether you're ready or not. So be ready. Call Teton Wealth Group today at 844-838-6600. Because you're a Zone listener, we'll do a full ascent plan for you at no cost and talk you through all 5 of these unavoidable retirement problem areas. Call Teton Wealth Group at 844-838-6600 or visit us at retireteton.com.
Hans Olsen and Scott Gerard, and we know how much you need those windows replaced. We know how much you want to save money on your heating and cooling bill. So we know that Advanced Windows is the one place that's going to make it all happen for you, hands in 8 weeks or less.
We also know you love your wife. We know you love to make her happy, just like Scotty and I do. This is going to make her world. Just give them a call and start the project with her, and you guys get to build out this house together.
Right now, when you swap out 10 windows or more, you're going to save $2,500 off. It's Advanced Window Products. No middleman markup. They pass those savings on to you. So call right now. The end of season sale going on where you'll save $2,500. 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100 or advancedwindows.com.
So keep your marriage and your home warm with Advanced Window Products. 801-850-9100. Or check them out at advancedwindows.com.
Utah, the absolute best pricing of the year is happening right now at Paris RV. We're blowing out all remaining 2024 inventory. Save on the Heartland Prowler Lynx 17 BHX bunkhouse, only $14,995 or $171 per month. Or the Forest River Rockwood Freedom Series 1640 LTD, only $9,995 or $113 per month. Got toys? Hook up to the Forest River Vengeance Rogue SUT 23 SUT, only $33,995 or $345 a month.
The show may be over, but the deals are still on at Paris RV.
Paris RV is your locally owned, family-run RV dealership. We strive hard to find the very best RVs for the price. With 4 locations, over 1,000 RVs in stock, 42 service bays, and 4 super parts stores. We're sure to help take your family on the best RV vacation. Check out our perfect family bunkhouse trailer, the 26BH. That sleeps 9 for $19,995 or $227 a month. Zero down. Life is short. Enjoy it. North Murray, South Murray, Payson, and Pocatello. ParisRV.com.
Hey, bread bakers. Do you ever struggle to get your dough to rise during these cold winter months? Bakehouse Essentials has the perfect holiday kitchen prep tool for you. The Bakehouse Essentials Heated Dough Mat. It is the ultimate companion for all your dough baking needs. With 3 convenient sizes to choose from, these ultra-thin mats are designed to work with all dough types, yeast-based, sourdough, and even store-bought frozen dough. With a built-in thermostat, you can easily set and control your desired temperature, drastically cutting your rise times with consistent and controlled heat, ensuring your dough rises efficiently and evenly. Simply dial in your temperature and let the dough mat do the rest. Bakehouse Essentials Dough Mat, your perfect holiday baking companion. Use code BAKE20 for 20% off and free shipping. That's code BAKE20. Available online at BakehouseEssentials.com. BakehouseEssentials.com.
Why are you running on the treadmill wearing dress shoes and khakis?
I'm training to go the extra mile.
What?
You know, here at John Watson Chevrolet, we're Utah's best reviewed Chevy dealer because we always go the extra mile for our customers.
Yeah, but that means we'll do anything to give customers a great experience. Going the extra mile is just a metaphor.
So you're saying I don't have to run on this treadmill?
Not for the reasons you think you do. John Watson Chevrolet in Ogden, your 5-star Chevy dealer. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
I am Rosario Dawson. Cancer can be a challenging journey, one that no one should take on alone. And Stand Up to Cancer wants to make sure no one has to. We bring together the best scientists and doctors to accelerate research, leading to more effective treatments. With each new advancement, we're getting closer than ever to our mission of making every cancer patient cancer-free. To get there even faster, we rely on the support from individuals like you, so that through our combined efforts, more patients and their loved ones will see that even though cancer may interrupt the journey, it doesn't have to determine the destination. The fight against cancer never stops. Thankfully, new and promising treatments can help save lives now. Let's go further together. Find out how you can join the mission. Learn more at standuptocancer.org/AA.
Every day is a chance to be kinder to your body and mind. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, partner for the Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes, and Grizzlies. Visit uofuhealth.org.
97.5 KZNS FM Colville, 1280 KZNS AM Salt Lake City, and KSL FM HD2 Salt Lake City Midvale. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know. News update. This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
We have to keep growing as a group, recognize that we do need each other and that we do need to lean on each other in different moments and that we need to communicate better and that we need to continue to hunt what I believe every great team has, and that's the ability to think as a group. The best teams have the ability to think as a group. That comes with time and it comes with some struggle at times, so none of this is necessarily unexpected.
There's Will Hardy trying to figure out how to fix things that can't really be fixed, PK, but he's got to go up there and talk, and this lineup can only go so far. What can they do tonight against the San Antonio Spurs?
Well, can they be improved, though? Can you learn along the way, particularly the half dozen, now Kessler isn't playing, so 5 guys who are 23 and under. Can you learn more about what he's trying to teach you? I think you can. I don't know that it's going to be fixed in terms of you've got a broken leg and in 2 months that leg will be healed and you'll be fine. I'm not saying that. But I think they have the opportunity to improve. And if I were these guys, man, and I saw that clip, and it's been playing now to a degree nationally, of everybody knew that Connect was going to shoot the threes except a few guys, and unfortunately they were on my team or our team, I'd be really upset. And I'd go a little bit, well, I'll show you type of thing, man. You constantly have to prove yourself. I mean, really, I don't know where you don't in terms of if you let it get away too much, then people are going to say what's going on, whether you're 21 or 31 or whatever in real life too. So there's a lot of stuff they can improve on for sure.
Big Vic's been out for a while. Man, there's so many stars out in the NBA. No Big Vic, that would make life easier for the Jazz.
Are the stars out tonight?
Tip-off set for 6 o'clock. Pre-game starts at 5. Jake Scott, Tim Lacombe right here on the Zone as the Jazz finish up 4 straight on the road. They are rock solid 0-3. Back on track for the dream, the top pick. We'll see. But they have been losing. DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone.
Hashtag NBA.
Now, if you want to sing about the dream right now, PK, you can do it, but only briefly. The Philadelphia 76ers' dream was to have Embiid, Maxey, and George on the court together. Hadn't happened all season. Finally happened last night, playing the Memphis Grizzlies. And then Paul George hyperextended his left knee and left about, 30 seconds or so into the third quarter. He was out of there, and the Sixers lost 117-111. Can't get the gang together.
Paul George left early, and Joel Embiid arrived late.
Right? That has been the storyline. Embiid got himself all sorts of fired up. 35 points in 35 minutes. He'll show you. But the Sixers are 2-12, and that is the worst record in the NBA. Half a game worse than the Washington Wizards, which is absolutely horrific for Philadelphia.
But not for Washington?
That's kind of who Washington is. It's not a surprise. I mean, it's bad.
That's so typical. I mean, everywhere you look in Washington, they're losers.
Clippers handling the Magic. James Harden goes for 24. Kawhi Leonard isn't playing, but the Clippers are okay. 9-7, playing territory. If they ever got Kawhi.
It's amazing. They're not used to playing without him.
Right. They've never done this before. Do we need to watch the Blazers, or have we just decided that while they're not good, they are significantly better than the Jazz, and they're not going to be in the mix for the very, very best lottery picks, unless they get super lucky?
Yeah, they've got a better core of younger guys, and a guy like Grant and all. Yeah, they're more established than the Jazz.
6-9 after losing to the Thunder, 109-99. Jalen Williams went for 30 points and 8 assists in that game.
Oh, I think he was celebrating his brother Cody's 20th birthday.
Now, is that what he was doing?
Yeah.
The Warriors thumped the Hawks 120-97. Golden State, best record in the West, off to an 11-3 start.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is health.
They're healthy, and the schedule has been not that difficult.
I don't know what their schedule's
nonetheless.
You're the Warriors fan here, not me.
Yeah. And the Cavs bounce right back from that loss in Boston. They hammer the Pelicans 128-100. Ty Jerome led them with 29. They improved to 16-1. They got Toronto coming up next, so that screams 17-1. They got the Celtics another week or so. They'll play them again. So, Lakers star LeBron James says an indefinite hiatus from social media. 159 million followers on Instagram, 52.9 million on X, the old Twitter, and he is walking away from it. Too much negativity, PK. So he's out. For how long, we'll see.
What's the negativity? Is he talking about just posts or the responses he gets? Because these young guys, well, he's not young anymore, but a lot of them, they take that and they get this blowback and they extrapolate that that's the real world.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't hear him say anything definitive on specifically where the negativity was. But yeah.
That was general. It wasn't a direct question to you to respond with an answer.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
Thursday Night Football, Pittsburgh and Cleveland. All right, Pittsburgh, we're getting to the point where we trust you. And Russell Wilson is settled in. Now they have lost to the Colts and Cowboys, so yikes. But they're on a roll now, 5 in a row, so a chance to make it 6 tonight as Pittsburgh pushes for one of the best records in the NFL. Level with Buffalo, just a game behind the Chiefs. So see if Pittsburgh can get the best record in the AFC. Can't mess up games like this one. George Kittle, who sat out last week against Seattle with a hamstring injury, says he'll play against the Packers. I will be playing on Sunday. Very excited. Can't pass up playing the Packers, so no. I'll be out there for sure. So set your fantasy football lineups accordingly. Eli Manning, Antonio Gates, and Jared Allen among the 25 modern-era candidates for the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame class. Going on the ballot for the first time. The former Ute, Steve Smith Sr., is eligible. Anquan Bolden, James Harrison, Adam Vinatieri. So a few other names out there. Feel strongly about any of those names, PK?
I don't really follow what the level of criteria is for NFL, so they all look fine to me. But because I don't really know what stats do you need to get if you're a receiver. Honestly, I could not tell you.
I wonder if Antonio Gates will be hurt because late in his career he got busted for PED use, but that doesn't seem to be as big a deal in football as it does in baseball. I'm with you on like stats, how many sacks, but I think Jared Allen, just hearing his name, I think Hall of Famer. He was at the top of his game. He was dominant. If you're rushing the passer in the NFC North, and I know who you are, you're probably really good. So, DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Jim McElwain, former Colorado State football coach, is also at Florida. He's at Central Michigan now. He says he's going to retire after this season. A lot of openings at the G5 level. Still waiting for the Power 4 level jobs to open up, but we'll see. Tonight, NC State takes on Georgia Tech. ACC action. Kickoff set for 5:30 on ESPN. The Cougars' offensive guys talked last night, PK. Did you hear anything very surprising out of any of them? I know A-Rod was talking about the level of physicality, ASU, loving to push people around.
You're going to have to meet it. I didn't really hear anything that jumped out at me listening to the guys that, at this point of the season, we're 2 months, well into 2 months into it, so they've established themselves. It's about finishing drives. The defense, we play a team like this, you got to control Scattabooyah. I was talking to some guys at ASU, exchanging some emails, working the department, and they just keep going back to praising Kenny. I got a quote: "Kenny is the real deal."
Awesome.
These are guys that are there every day. I'm not even close to there every day. I just hear sound bites. But these are guys, and I think you need to be there every day to get a real feel as far as what what's real and what is, you know what I mean? I mean, the guys who are there every day, whether they're media or in the sports information, they know what's going on. And so the Cougs are going to have to play, you can very much argue, the best game of the season to date that they have played.
And A-Rod was talking about the Arizona State defense largely. I mean, obviously, as the offensive coordinator, that's what he's looking. But, man, when you watch Arizona State football, and you watch more than most, but all of us have probably at least grazed through and maybe done more. The thing about Scatabo, or A.K. Scatabooyah, is that guy rarely goes down on first contact. When he does, he's always falling forward for the extra yard or two. He breaks a lot of tackles. If you try to block him to the ground with his shoulder, his balance is good. So the pressure is on for guys to tackle, especially those linebackers and safeties, because he has a knack for getting loose and going 20 or 40 yards.
Yeah, I think that, and I've seen him play 3 times because I've got to work on Saturdays, right? And one of the times was against Utah. He does do that, but and he's got 1,000 yards, so he's good, and he's been very, very good, really, no doubt about it. But a lot of it's either like a 3 or 4 yarder or a 65 yarder.
Yeah.
And so you got to make sure that you do not allow the 64-yarder, obviously. I think you can contain him to a degree. What you have to make sure is that he doesn't pull one of his magic tricks, which he's done several times. And that's, I don't want to say inflated the rushing total, because the rushing total he ran for those yards, so that rushing total is exactly what it is because he earned them and gained them. But you got to make sure that you gang tackle him so he doesn't find a way. He likes to put his hand on the ground to maintain his balance. And he's low to the ground to begin with, so his balance is excellent. And you have to limit those runs. I don't think he can bottle them up, but he's had a lot of 2 and 3 and maybe 4-yard gains. And then the next thing you know, he reels off a half a field. And so that again, not to inflate numbers, but to increase them. When you think you've got him bottled up per carry, he'll reel off a 70-yarder. And so make sure you don't do that. I think if they can do that and turn ASU into more of a one-dimensional team from the defensive perspective, BYU's defensive perspective, that would greatly enhance their chances to win.
And remember that he does it as a receiver as well as a running back. He can catch the ball and go. And he's made big plays there.
For a Mack truck, a squatty Mack truck, he has great moves.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
American League and National League Cy Young Award winners announced, and PK, you were about 0% surprised to see the Tigers' Tariq Skubal and the Braves' Chris Sale named. I guess the only thing that was surprising maybe was that they weren't both unanimous.
And Skubal is a kid out of Kingman, Arizona.
Yeah.
Which is a real small town for people who have driven through Vegas to get to Phoenix. And there might be some literally right now doing that, going down for the game Saturday. That's where that kid is from. And so, yeah, he's come on. And Sale's been good for a while. He had some arm injuries and all that. But when he's good, he's at the top of his game. He's as good as anybody out there.
Smaller community. Kingman, Arizona, home of the Cy Young Award winner, or Firebaugh, California, home of Josh Allen, potential NFL MVP. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, I've been to the Fresno area many times over for work, and then I have a friend who has a cabin over there in Yosemite and grew up in Fresno, so I've been there. I don't know where his community is. I would think his community.
They're both tiny, right? DJ and PK. Oh, we should also mention Roki Sasaki. Remember that name. Not expected to sign until after January 15th. We're going to have almost 2 more months of speculation. Dodgers? Angels?
No. I think it's Padres.
Padres. Nice.
Yeah.
Why do you think Padres?
Talking to somebody in L.A.
Okay.
And that's the word he heard. And this guy has told me some stuff that, he's the one who told me that what's-his-face Bauer would never pitch for the Dodgers again.
Uh-huh. Is he the one who told you LeBron was going to the Lakers in however many months?
Yes.
So he's got 2 winners.
He told me that before that last season, that was what was going to happen. It's what he was told. So, and I saw a thing. The Dodgers, they had this thing. Mookie Betts and a couple other guys, and they were saying the Padres had the best team last year. But baseball that doesn't really mean a whole lot. A lot of the times. He said he felt like they were the best team, and he said it certainly was the best atmosphere that they played in. So if they could get this kid and he's real, you never know. I watched the CMAs last night, the Country Music Awards, and Freddie Freeman came out and announced a winner. He's living high.
It's good to be Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Has your source in Los Angeles told you anything about Ha-Seong Kim? Because there's been some rumors / reporting, you know how that works these days, that he will bolt San Diego and leave the Padres for the Dodgers. So see if there's a little tug of war there.
No, I haven't heard that.
Okay.
The Dodgers can use a shortstop, obviously.
Yeah. DJ and PK.
#golf.
PGA Tour's Fall Series continues. They are in Georgia. Patrick Fishburne, Zach Blair in the field. The pressure's on. Everybody's trying to make money here, PK, because for years the top 125 have held on to their playing cards. But this year, the top 100 hold on. So you need to make a little extra money. If you have to play in the fall when the big names, when the Schefflers and the McIlroys and that caliber of player aren't playing, well, maybe that's a good time to go make some money and get yourself over that line.
I would say it's a better time to go make some money because making some money is always a good time. As far as that goes, I was listening to the golf radio station on the Sirius radio yesterday, and they had a guy from NBC Sports, which I believe they own the Golf Channel.
Yes.
And he was talking about yesterday, so this would have been yesterday afternoon, and he was talking about the Pro-Am that was there, and he said he had never seen as big a crowd out for a Pro-Am, and they asked him why, and he said 2 reasons. Number 1, Tom Brady was playing, and number 2, Caitlin Clark was playing.
2 megastars. So it turns out celebrity's powerful. Huh.
Yeah, and, Brady has been, well, he speaks for himself, but Caitlin Clark is on top of the world right now. And I was talking about it with my wife, and I said, she was saying, man, she gets around there. I said, yeah, my guess is she's being paid to be there, at least by her sponsorship that want to see her out there and wearing the gear or whatever it might be. But I said, yeah, that young lady is going to be flowing with the money for a number of years. And then we should also mention that the LPGA announced that in May 1st to the 4th, I think it is going to Black Desert, and we'll have Patrick Manning coming on,
8:30,
managing partner of Black Desert. Yeah, and they're going to do they're just going to do a great job with that. And thinking what they did, they sort of threw that PGA tournament together real quick, and now they'll just keep getting better. They're getting better for the PGA or the LPGA in May, and then following next fall when the PGA comes back, it'll just be better and better.
Yeah, the thrown together part of that is that they were supposed to get the tournament for 25. And then something else happened with some other tournament. I'm not sure which one. And they were said, well, how about you do one in 24? So that's why it was thrown together. And there was still a lot of construction going on at the site because, they weren't planning on hosting then. And the opening's supposed to be in the spring. So you're right. Nowhere to go but up from here, right?
Yeah. Yes, most definitely.
All right, we'll talk with Patrick Fishburne. More golf coming up at 8:30. DJ and PK.
Patrick Manning.
Patrick Manning, yes, sir.
NHL.
The Utah Hockey Club opens a 4-game road trip. They are in Boston tonight. Like the Utah Hockey Club, the Bruins are 1 game under 500. They're 8-9 with the 3 overtime losses. Utah Hockey Club 7-8 with 3 overtime losses, and these two teams aren't supposed to have the same record. The Bruins are supposed to be really good, which is probably part of the reason that head coach Jim Montgomery got fired earlier this week. I think they let him go on Tuesday. Maybe it was Monday night and we heard about it on Tuesday. But early in the week, he got let go. Really unusual, PK. He's there 2.5 years. The first year, they set an NHL record for wins and for points. And less than a year and a half later, he is gone. So, yeah, so will they be playing with a renewed energy because they're happy he's gone? Are they going to mix up some of the lines? Maybe there'll be a few surprises. Puck drop, 5 p.m., TD Garden in Boston. Adrian Denny, hockey night in Utah at 4 o'clock. That'll be on 11:60 a.m. They got games everywhere. All over the place.
Yeah, they do.
Because the Jazz will obviously be on tonight as well. And the high school state championship triple header will be on 1280. So, there you go. Games
now
everywhere.
back to football?
Yeah.
And you brought up Jim McElwain.
I did.
He went to Eastern Washington.
Okay.
And you know who his roommate was?
I don't.
Oh, you're going to love this. Your radio state Texas hero, the Herd, Colin Cowherd.
Oh, there you go.
They were roommates at Eastern Washington. How about that?
And look at him now. There is an update on Alexander Ovechkin. He is week to week, lower leg injury. You saw his knee kind of bend inward. I mean, they're not announcing it, but is that cartilage? Is that MCL? Week to week does not sound good. He was off to a great start, but it sounds like he's going to be out a while. 27 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's career record. All right, that's what's trending, brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. All right, coming up, we are talking with Barry Trammell, sports columnist at the Tulsa World, all things Big 12. Why are the Big 12 teams so low in the college football rankings? Why is BYU behind SMU in Miami? We'll talk with Barry about that at 8 o'clock. Patrick Manning, managing partner at Black Desert Resort at 8:30. Amy Donaldson, Making of a Moment podcast at 9:30. DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone.
And now, a look at traffic from the KSL Traffic Center.
Our most active spot this morning has been in Utah County. Had a couple of crashes, one in each direction near Center Street in Orem. Getting on from Center Street in Provo, northbound 15, there was a crash on the ramp itself and had a disabled vehicle on a Pioneer Crossing that's blocking off a right lane. This is if you're westbound heading out to Saratoga Springs, just past the Saratoga Road intersection. As far as I-15 in Salt Lake County, just a touch of slowing between the Bluffdale and Bangerter exits. Southbound 15 from Ogden to downtown, not seeing any major problems so far. Attention pumpkin pie people, don't stuff your potholes with your Aunt Janice's yams this year. Go Pave Utah plows through snow like your Uncle Larry hammers his mashed potatoes. Call Go Pave Utah today. From the KSL Traffic Center, I'm Eric Butler at 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
We should never, ever be surprised again that Utah's offenses always look like Utah's offenses. Regardless of what the intention of the offense is to look like, the purpose is to do one thing, and it's what you've talked about a lot. Never turn over the ball. And you never turn over the ball by not taking chances. And so that's the purpose.
I swear to you, if you throw another interception, you're never going to play for this team again. Nobody makes the team next year, because how dare you put my defense in a bad spot? How dare you give the ball back to Kansas with over a minute to play? Because that puts my defense in the position where they could lose the game, you know?
If you're going to, as you've said, Utah BYU, or do what Utah does all the time, it can become a problem even if it wins way more than it loses.
And whether you mean to do it or not, it seeps in because that's the philosophy all these coaches came up under.
Hear Jake Scott and Ben Anderson every day from 10 to noon on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, Outback.
Forrester?
What are you in here for? Tire rotation?
Yes, and an oil change, and a car wash, all for $99.95. Not that I care about the price, that's my human's problem.
$99.95? Someone should tell my human about that. Steve hasn't washed me in weeks.
Don't worry, Doug will let him know.
Drop into Doug Smith Subaru in American Fork for an oil change, tire rotation, and a car wash, all for just $99.95. No one knows service like Doug.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Have you lost weight in the past but gained it all back and more? We know the secret to losing weight and keeping it off long-term without drugs or injections. At SaltLakeCityFatLoss.com, many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, or keep it off without prepackaged meals, no exercising, no hormones, no injections, no drugs or surgery. Go to SaltLakeCityFatLoss.com now.
JJ here. SLC Fat Loss helped me lose 40 pounds in 60 days, and they're helping me keep that weight off now. They can do the same for you.
Hey guys, Alex Curie here. I'm down 60 pounds on Salt Lake City Fat Loss. It worked for me. That means it's going to be able to work for you. Go to SaltLakeCityFatLoss.com and find out how.
To learn about our program, go to SaltLakeCityFatLoss.com and schedule your free private phone consultation. Our staff will walk you through our entire program, talk about your health goals, and see if it's a good fit for you. Call 801-450-1882 or go to SaltLakeCityFatLoss.com to schedule your free phone consultation now. That's SaltLakeCityFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Transfer your credit card balances to our First Federal Credit Union Visa and get card NAV security as part of your package. Enjoy 3.99% interest for the first 6 months and 9.95% fixed APR. No annual fees plus 1 reward point for every dollar transferred. Then there's card NAV security, the total protection package. Download the app and get unmatched control of your Visa card. Visit HerculesCU.com. Hercules First Federal Credit Union. Growing stronger together. All accounts insured to $250,000 by NCUA.
You can be a champion this Thanksgiving simply by donating blood at ARUP Blood Services. Your donation helps save lives. ARUP has 2 convenient locations in Salt Lake. Visit utahblood.org to learn more. So donate for the win with ARUP Blood Services. It takes just 30 minutes to save lives at our local hospitals. You'll feel like you scored the winning touchdown with the team at ARUP Blood Services. Please walk in and donate blood. 2 locations, Sandy and Research Park. Visit utahblood.org for more information.
5 Utah teens killed in 6 months by other students as young as 15.
I just miss him so much.
I'm KSL investigator Courtney Johns, and we're taking a look at teen violence trends and what we know can make a difference.
It's better to stop a habit rather than having to break a habit years later.
KSL investigates the rise of teen violence tonight at 10.
Feel your best this holiday season with Redmond Relight Hydration. The perfect way to refresh and rehydrate with essential electrolytes, no sugar, delicious taste, great for hydrating on the go. Relight, available online and Harmon's.
This is your Cougars at 30 update on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
BYU at Arizona State this week, 9-1 versus 8-2. Aaron Roderick, offensive coordinator, asked if the Cougars may be increasing the tempo of the offense.
There is something to picking up the tempo a little bit, but the 2-minute drill, you get different coverages, you get different defenses, and it's a shorter menu of plays. That menu of plays can dry up real fast if that's all you do for 4 quarters.
Bad weather in parking lots. Love GoPave Utah. GoPave Utah loves snow. Don't wait for bad weather. Schedule your snow removal service with GoPave. Visit GoPave.com.
One of the coolest stations in the world.
Utah's highest rated, most listened to sports radio show for over 20 years.
Everyone's listening.
This is DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hot Takes or Toast is brought to you by Siegfried and Jensen with 30 years of serving Utah. Question of the morning. How much confidence do you have in BYU's offense against ASU? John does not have really much confidence at all. BYU's offensive line is either too injured or just not good enough to create the holes the BYU running backs need to open up their offense. Final score, ASU 24, BYU 13. Down on the Cougar running game.
He's getting caught up in the moment, which I'm fine with, because I don't think that's been the story of the season. It's not like been Utah's offense, obviously, after that Baylor game. It's been a struggle in that Baylor first half. It was okay. Since then, not so much, whereas we've seen the exact opposite of what he was saying. What's his name, John? That the offense has run, and L.J. Martin has looked good, and Ropati in a lesser role has looked good, right? Retzlaff, maybe that's what they need to go back to, have Retzlaff some more runs, some more scrambles off passes. Now, I'm just throwing something out there. It's not like I've studied that and think, oh, that's going to be the panacea, man. You do that, and look out. Here we go. College playoff. Make your reservations now. But they got to do something to get better, because these last couple of games have not been good enough, and you're putting too much pressure on your defense and your special teams. Now, even as I say that, I'm starting to wonder, wow, we saw the special teams be so brilliant, and that's hard to ask the special teams to be brilliant all the time and to really make a difference in a game. It's nice when you get it, but to expect it, I don't know that you can count on that. So maybe some of that offense that we've seen has been inflated because the special teams have been really good and they're great in turnovers and all that stuff from the defensive perspective, where we get in that complementary football, which has become the latest jargon. But on its own, that offense has got to get better.
The quality of competition's gone up. I mean, that's a big factor. In those 3 games in October, Arizona, Oklahoma State, UCF, those defenses just aren't on the level of Utah, Kansas, and ASU, are they? Especially Kansas, the way they're playing now. If you got Kansas in early October, maybe you get them, but they have more confidence now.
They have more confidence, but I think it's still the same team. They just won a close ball game a couple of times, whereas before they weren't. I'm going to go to my grave. I'm dying on that hill that Kansas is a good team in 2024. I said it before the win, so I feel like I can continue to say that. I think Kansas is going to give Colorado all that it can handle. Now, that has nothing to do with BYU. BYU needs to find a way to beat the Devils for sure, and maybe they can luck out in the manner that Utah did a couple years back, where 3 or 4 things transpire. And looky here, next thing you know, the Utes are advancing to the title game, which they won, and nobody did anything for them to make them win that game except them playing well at that point. So it's not like they backed into the Rose Bowl completely by any stretch. For the Cougars, you can't count on anybody else losing at this point. Not that they are. I mean, they know that. But Kansas is a good ball club, and they have been showing it. They've been winning. And that's what they've been doing. They've been winning, which I guess is the ultimate show me is the winner, so I don't want to discount that. But you're right. Competition has increased. There's no doubt about it. And we'll see if the Devils, how good they are. Because the Devils, too, it's a funny situation in that, okay, Kansas State was huge, right? Program-defining win, maybe. Because if you lay an egg Saturday, even if you lose, you can lose and not lay an egg. Not all losses are you just played awful. You can't say that. But the point I'm making is, man, whatever they did last week against K-State was awesome. But now
got to back it up.
And now this is what Dillingham spoke about just literally 24 months ago, when he said, I'm here to activate the Valley. That's his big thing, I told you about that, activate the Valley. Well, it's activated now. Sold out. People are talking about it. Blah, blah, blah. Now what do you do? What do you do when you got it? Because folks down there, and I can tell you, what do they think ASU stands for? Always something university. Something's always getting in the way. Well, it's amazing that he activated the Valley, or the Devils did, in only 24 months, I should say. But now you want to continue to activate it and make it grow or stay activated. So that's why this game, man, you throw in the actual game and then you heap on all the ramifications of the game, and then it's as good as it gets for both these programs.
I get Kansas State was a big win, and I'm sure you got to throw a lot of emotion into that. But now you got the conference co-leader, and then you got the in-state rival. So if it was purely emotion, then the letdown follows at some point, because most humans can't bring that level 12 times in a row. You're not going to.
Well, Kenny Dillingham isn't most humans, buddy. I'm going to tell you that right now.
That's good. Now tell me about all the defensive linemen who are in there just getting bounced around by big dudes for 3 hours.
Oh, and it's typical, too. I listened to what he says. And talking about yesterday, I think we're getting a little more comfortable. We've eased practices a little bit for the sake of health, as we do later in the season. And guys are getting comfortable. So now he's getting the edge. Like, come on, boys, time to sack up. Let's go, man. What are you guys doing? You're getting soft. You know how they play those games. Everybody does them.
Classic,
athletics.
Right?
Yeah.
Coaching. If it's not coaching 101, it's coaching 102.
Yeah.
Whatever he can say to get a little more out of him. I do think along the lines of the running thing, you look at Rapati, and I go back to those October games, and he's averaging 6 or 7 yards a carry. He's not getting a lot of carries, 6 carries here, 9 there. UCF, they gave him the ball 13 times. That's a pretty good number. But when he gets it, he's really efficient. Now, you get to November, and the quality of the competition is up. And he hasn't averaged 5 yards a carry in either one of these games. And over time, that matters. It's not quite as obvious with LJ's carries, but there's a hint of that there as well, as far as the productivity, not having 100-yard games, that kind of stuff. So I think the people who question, anytime you see the running backs' numbers move, for better or worse, it usually reflects on the O-line. Running backs have a hard time getting through the defensive line, the first level. Maybe at the second level you break a tackle or a guy takes a bad angle, you run away from somebody. And certainly these guys who, we talked about Scatterbone last second, breaking the long ones. It's the safeties, usually the running backs have to beat the safety. Run them over or run away from them, something. So I think there's definitely a factor there. But I got to go back to what Hans Olsen was telling us, too, about the self-scouting. And I think that the next thing parked right next to that is A-Rod gone to the bag of tricks? Is there stuff that they've got in their offense that they haven't shown on film yet that ASU can't be prepped for? Because that is a problem getting late in the year. And you see it all the time. And it's interesting in the NFL. Everybody who plays fantasy football in the NFL tends to see this. You get late in the year. It doesn't always happen. But, man, a lot of times late in the year, the points, the touchdowns, they go straight to the best players. Because you've schemed everything, everything's been seen on film, and defenses are good, and they end up taking all that away. What they can't take away is the best player just getting it done. That's what they can't take away. And you show a lot of stuff on film, and coaches will say, the film never lies. So you've told people a lot of stuff now. They played 10 games. It's not a surprise that defenses would start to catch up to offenses. The offenses that can still do it now, they get the best guys. And you just can't take away the biggest, fastest, strongest guy if you're not good enough. So I wonder if A-Rod's got anything at the bottom of his bag of tricks, or if Chase Roberts, Darius Lassiter, L.J. Martin, can the best players just make plays?
Man, you just make me want to put my hand in the dirt. Listen to you. I want hat on hat right now. Oh, man.
If they win hat on hat, then the running game will be great.
I'm going to do a chip blocker. Everybody I see today, I'm going to chip block them. Listen to you break that
That'd
down.
be awesome, man. You just everybody you see, you're walking through the store, you just throw your shoulder into somebody, knock grandma or grandpa to the ground. Take that chip block. Didn't see that coming. You could be a
menace. If that
menace.
doesn't get me fired up, I want to play right now, parking lot, anywhere. I can't wait
Thanks,
till
Urban.
Saturday now. Yeah, we'll go out on the blacktop. Listening to you break that down like you did, that was the second best soliloquy next to the soccer manifesto. That was beautiful.
DJ PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. More beauty coming up with Barry Trammell at the top of the hour. How come BYU and the Big 12 aren't a little higher in the college football committee rankings? We'll talk with Barry about that at the top of the hour. Stay with us.
And now, a look at traffic from the KSL Traffic Center.
Got a crash northbound I-15 as you approach Bangerter Highway in Draper. The crash is over up against the left barrier, but the HOV lane is blocked. And looks like you got debris in one of the adjacent left lanes as well. So you're going to have to slow down and be careful heading from Utah County into Salt Lake County. You got slowdowns of that whole stretch. It probably starts right around 2100 north in Lehigh. Further up ahead, there's some slowing approaching 106 south in Sandy, and then approaching 53rd south in Murray. This holiday season, Murdoch Hyundai is grateful for you. Celebrate during the Murdoch Hyundai Season of Giving sales event. Receive 0% for 4 years on the Elantra, Sonata, Tucson, or Santa Fe. From the KSL Traffic Center, I'm Eric Butler at 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Accessing.
This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G.
You eliminate that fade throw that has become the bane of everybody's existence, and you take away the quick kick that bounced off the helmet. You still win that game with 13, 14 points. The stupidest thing I've ever seen in all of football, to have a quick kick go off somebody's helmet, and for them to not even really try to cover it, because they're like, yes, our ball, jogging off to the sideline like, hell yeah, I had that go route covered. There was no step in between.
I'm on him like glue, coach.
He comes off high-fiving Gennaro Guilford like, yeah, what do you say, coach? Damn right, not going to get a step on me.
No fly zone. Am I right?
Johnson Island, they tried to get on it. Wasn't happening. That's how stupid that quick kick situation was.
I know.
And you lost the game on that.
Catch Hans and Scotty weekdays from noon to 3 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Bar W Beef is celebrating the grand opening of their new state-of-the-art retail butcher shop in Nephi. They offer locally born, ethically, and humanely raised beef with options for both larger and smaller everyday quantities of grain and grass-finished cuts, all at prices that rival your local grocer. Bar W Beef is setting a new standard in the beef industry with their unwavering commitment to quality, cleanliness, and attention to detail. Visit Bar W Beef in Nephi or online at barwbeef.com. That's barwbeef.com.
Trip feels big.
Yeah, okay. Hi.
On a scale from 1 to 5,
I would give Siegfried and Jensen
5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars.
If there was more stars in the constellation, they'd get more.
They've been amazing to work with.
They care about people, and I want to say thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank them for everything that they did for me, and I would highly recommend them.
They were wonderful.
Here for you 24/7. Call Siegfried and Jensen.
Actually, I did leave him a really good review on Google, so.
Hey, Outback.
Forster?
What are you in here for? Tire rotation?
Yes, and an oil change, and a car wash, all for $99.95. Not that I care about the price, that's my human's problem.
$99.95? Someone should tell my human about that. Steve hasn't washed me in weeks.
Don't worry, Doug will let him know.
Drop into Doug Smith Subaru in American Fork for an oil change, tire rotation, and a car wash, all for just $99.95. No one knows service like Doug.
At Black Desert Resort, you can truly indulge in luxury your way. Whether you choose a sleek studio or an expansive 4-bedroom suite, you're just moments away from teeing off on a championship golf course, savoring top-tier dining, relaxing poolside, or exploring the rugged beauty of southern Utah. Whatever thrill you seek is right outside your door. Your journey awaits at blackdesertresort.com. Get lost and find luxury.
Hey, this is Ryan from the Dish Professionals. We have an incredible offer from Dish you won't want to miss. By switching to Dish today, you can take advantage of our extraordinary 2-year promotion, which includes a price guarantee for the same period. Plus, enjoy movie channels and Netflix free for over the next 2 years. Say goodbye to commercials with Dish's Auto Hop feature and Netflix commercial-free service. You can also inquire about bundling internet with Dish and learn how to receive a free iPhone 16 Pro or a Samsung S24 with